Hello students, welcome to all of you. We have a great opportunity to learn and gossip for today. Today we have got a very interesting topic from 10th standard English language textbook. So many of us go through life changing in a belief that we cannot do something simply because we failed at it once before, or we fear to do it and we do not have faith or confidence to do that particular thing. So, today we shall discuss the story His First Flight. It is about a young seagull's experience of learning how to fly. But before we get into the story, let us talk a little about the theme of the story. This story is about a family of seagulls in which the psychology and intelligence of these birds have been described. The writer talks about a young seagull that was afraid of flying. This story is in a very simple and convincing manner. Logline of the story is necessity is always the mother of invention, but it sometimes needs an initial spark from outside. Actually, the author has written this story as a third person point of view, but I have converted this story in first person point of view as a young seagull telling his own story and talking directly with you. So, let's start. Hi, I am a young seagull and this is my story. Friends, every first step in life needs courage and self-confidence because to cover a distance of 1,000 miles, we have to take the first step. But that single step is the most difficult one to make. Everyone needs to be independent even while staying involved in family life. But the joy or independence is not meant for cowards. To get success in life, first conquer the fear, and I realized that we were born with wings. Friends, I was alone on my ledge. Do you know what is meant by ledge? It means a cliff. Suppose you are living in a house like that way. I am living on a ledge. So, I was alone on my ledge. My two brothers and my sister had already flown away the day before. I had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when I had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap my wings, I became afraid. Are there any situation when you get afraid? I was afraid of flying because the great expanse of sea stretched down beneath. And it was such a long way down, miles down. I felt certain that my wings would never support me. So I bent my head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where I slept at night. Even when each of my brothers and my little sister, whose wings were far shorter than my own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away, I failed to muster courage to take that plunge or jump which appeared to me so desperate. My father and mother had come around, calling me in a loud, harsh voice, scolding me or threatening to let me starve on my ledge unless I flew away. Like maybe your parents scold you for mischief. But for the life of me, I could not move. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody has come near me. The day before, all day long, I had watched my parents flying above with my brothers and sister. perfecting them in art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves. Skim means to move lightly just above the surface, and how to dive for fish. I had, in fact, seen my older brother catch his first herring and devour it. Devour means eat up hungrily or greedily. My older brother caught his first herring and devoured it standing on a rock, while my parents circled around raising a proud cackle. And all morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting me for my cowardice. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on my ledge that faced the south. I felt the heat because I had not eaten since the previous nightfall. I stepped slowly out of the brink of the ledge and, standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under my wing, I closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. Still, they took no notice of me. I saw my two brothers and my sister lying on the plateau, dozing or napping, with their heads sunk into their necks. My father was preening the feathers on his white back. Do you know what is meant by preening? It means making an effort to clean feathers with the help of a beak. Like all of you wash your mouth with your hands. Only my mother was looking at me. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again, she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened me. How I love to tear food that way, scraping my beak now and again to sharpen it. I cried, begging or requesting her to bring me some food. She screamed back derisively, as I was stupid. Have you faced derision in your life? Oh, derision means in a manner showing someone that you are stupid. My mother screamed back as I was stupid. But I kept calling plaintively or expressing my sorrow. And after a minute or so, I uttered a joyful scream. My mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to me with it. I leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with my feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to me, she halted. She stopped, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of my beak. I waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer. And then, maddened by hunger, I dived at the fish with a loud scream. I felt outwards and downwards into space. Then a monstrous terror seized me and my heart stood still. I could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. The next moment, I felt my wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against my breast feathers, then under my stomach, and again my wings. I could feel the tips of my wings cutting through the air. I was not falling headlong now. I was soaring or flying gradually downwards and outwards. Now I realize that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. I was no longer afraid. I just felt a bit dizzy or having an uncomfortable feeling of spinning and losing my balance. Then I flapped my wings once and I soared upwards. My mother swooped or dived past me, her wings making a loud noise. I answered her with another scream. Then my father flew over me screaming. I saw my two brothers and my sister flying around me, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. Then I completely forgot that I had not always been able to fly, and commanded myself to dive and soar and curve, screaming shrilly. I was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean. I saw a vast green sea beneath me, with little ridges moving over it, and I turned my beak sideways and cawed amusedly or pleasurefully. My parents and my brothers and sister had landed on this green flooring ahead of me. They were beckoning to me. Calling shrilly. I dropped my legs to stand on the green sea. My legs sank into it. I screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping my wings. But I was tired and weak with hunger, and I could not rise, exhausted by the strange exercise. My feet sank into the green sea, and then my belly touched it, and I sank no further. I was floating on it, and around me my family was screaming, praising me, and their beaks were offering me scraps of dogfish. Oh, I had made my first flight. That day I knew that our own efforts could lead us to the path of success. I understood the importance of independence, self-belief and confidence, and the need for motivation to attain goals. Necessity is always the mother of invention. So students, how was the story? From an educator's point of view, his first flight shows how to tactically impact motivation. The parents of the seagull had tried to threaten him in different ways, but to no avail. The mother knew well that the trick was to arouse his need, and she eventually lures him out with food, to his momentary horror and then great joy. So bottom line of this story, in fact the mother seemed to be well aware of the Chinese proverb that give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. She might have even heard that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. So students, moral of the story is one should bravely face their fear and never give up. Because when you doubt your power, you give power to your doubt. So it's all about your confidence and how you feel about yourself. So that's it in this program. I hope you enjoyed this young seagull story. So we will meet soon with different lesson. That's it for today and keep listening. Thank you very much.